Slaps perfect. So today we're going to be doing the wheel bearings on the back of this 2013 Malibu? Impala. So what we're going to do is we're going to jack it up, and we know that one of the wheel bearings is gone, and I'm pretty sure it's passenger side. He's pretty sure it's passenger side. So we purchased one off of Rock Auto, and it was like what? 40 bucks?
Shipping, 60.
60 bucks to the door. I can't beat those prices at Napa, and if you're not in a rush, I always suggest buying stuff off Rock Auto. So what we're going to do is we're going to jack the car up, find a safe spot to jack it up on the pinch welds. We're going to be doing this all on the ground today, no hoist, no nothing, so that way you guys know you can do it at your own house. So here's the best way to determine if the wheel bearing's gone. Take all the weight off the wheel, put pressure on the top and the bottom. You hear that? Yeah, this wheel bearing's gone. Determine which one it is pretty quick. So let's go through the steps that we're going to do to remove this wheel bearing and put the new one in. First step, take the tire off. Pretty simple, 3/4 impact. If you don't have an impact, set the jack down, put the tire back on the ground so you have resistance. Use your ratchet to take them off. 3/4 the size you're looking for. These aren't super tight, Greg.
They were torqued to
Manufacturer spec?
Yeah.
I think manufacturer spec's what, 85? So now that we got the tire off, we're just going to take a look to see if everything else, oh yeah, that's definitely wheel bearing. That's not brakes, that's not anything else. You can clearly see. So we have a Torx bolt holding the brake disc on. We have, I'm going to guess 13 or 14 mil holding the caliper on. We're going to take the caliper off, but first we're going to take off the Torx bolt here. Oh. The size of torque bit you're going to need is a T30. It's usually your most generic size. There we go. Happy that didn't strip. I hate drilling these things out. Just going to remove that. Put that off to the side so we don't lose it. Put it right there in the Torx kit. Let's try 14 mil. Nope, not 14. She's 13. Hammer now. Oh. Alright. So now with all the brakes off, we can clearly see how bad this wheel bearing is. That's pretty bad. So how you take this off is a lot of the older GMs you get at the bolts from the backside. On this one here, you stick your impact sockets or your sockets through the holes on the bearing. So we have to take out 4 bolts and then pound this one out. So it's number 10 with a hammer fit. Pull these 4 bolts out. There's 1. There's 2. See if we can go for the hat trick plus one. Being as new as this vehicle is, it's really nice because a lot of the bolts don't break. If this car was probably 5 years older, probably not so lucky. Unplug the wheel bearing sensor. Can you get me out? I got it. So we got the old wheel bearing off. We don't have a puller, so I pretty much just sledgehammered it to death. It was just a good 2 hits and she came right off. So we have the old wheel bearing here. Quite garbage. We have the new wheel bearing right here. Not quite garbage yet. So this is not really a necessary step, but I think that when you put stuff back together, anti-seizing them, because if you want to own the vehicle for a long time, you're going to fix it. And it also helps stuff slide. This is just a spray on anti-seize. Now the bolts, we are not going to actually anti-seize because I don't want those coming loose. You want to point the sensor in the right way, which is where you unplug the other one, pretty much like so. And we're just going to start, yes Harley. We're just going to start these bolts in by hand. Oh, forgot the dust shield. Forgot the dust shield. So we're just going to put the dust shield on, the wheel bearing in, turn it to where we need it to be. She's scratching your car with that stick. Having a dog. Oh, she even hit the camera. Can you spin that camera towards me? A little bit more. Perfect. Having a dog is like having a small child some days. So I'm just going to start these in there by hand, get all 4 of them started, and then we'll start gunning them up. Wheel bearings on these are not designed to be hard. They're designed to be that anybody with a very basic tool selection could and will be able to do it. You just have to take the risk, be able to willing to try something new. They're not like the old bearings where you have to set them. And you know what, there's pluses and minuses. The older bearings, for me, I find them in some circumstances to be easier because they are the same generic fit every way and they just take a little bit more and you got to set them up. This way right here, it's designed so you just pull the bolts out and put the whole bearing in. A little bit more pricey, but easier, faster. Just going to give them all one final check. If you notice, I'm not using the big gun for this. It's not really needed. There we go. Plug in your wheel sensor. Now we just restart assembling. So, you put your brake disc back on, your Torx bit. While you're doing this, you should check for other things. I've already gone over this vehicle quite a bit of times. Check your sway bars, check your trailing links, check your brakes, check your calipers, all that fun stuff, e-brake. But if you're going in there to do the wheel bearing, you might as well do everything while you're in there. So we're just tightening the Torx bolt back up, which retains the disc onto the bearing. Like so. Now we're just going to give a quick check. There is no play in that bearing at all. We're going to reinstall our calipers. why I couldn't find them. And then we're going to reinstall our 13 mil bolts holding the caliper up. If this was a drum brake setup, which I know that some cars these days still carry drums on the back, you would have to take out all the brakes and do it. Because this is a disc brake setup, it kind of makes it a lot easier, a lot quicker, a lot cleaner, and a heck of a lot faster. These caliper bracket bolts hold the disc caliper on. They shake quite a bit. We do not want to Loctite them, but we also do not want to anti-seize them. We do not want these coming loose. So what we're going to do is we just snug them up and then we give them a couple taps with the ratchet. Usually I just wrist strong or elbow strong, but the problem is my hands are so damn sore, I can't really do that right now. Perfect. Let's put the tire on and we're done here.
Hold on a second.
What?
Because I have the snow tires. I figured since we're exploring which wheel bearing on the front.
Sure. You want to put snows on right now?
Yep.
We're going to put snows on right now instead. But that is how we do the wheel bearing. Everything's pretty much start to finish on this. You can see the difference now. There is no play in this at all. We're just going to put the snows on, put the summers away, and thanks for watching, guys. This is very easy. On a scale to 1 to 10, I'm going to give this, 10 being the hardest, I'm going to give this a 2.5. Pretty much you just need 3 sizes, 13, 10, maybe 4. The 30T Torx, but if you had a drill you can do without it. And the 3/4 to take your tire off. Those are pretty generic sizes. Any multi-tool kit from Canadian Tire should get you all the tools you need to change this. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow, guys. Just going to put the snows on, and then we'll go check out the front of this car on a different video.